Namaste. Welcome to Flow and Restore Yoga. My name is Michelle Chua. And for this practice, you'll want to have 2 blocks, a strap, a bolster, and a blanket. Let's start in Hero's Pose if that position works for your body. You might sit on a block or 2 as you place your knees on the ground in front of you like this, and point your toes back, making sure you're not turning out or turning in your feet so that you can safely align your knees. So I like to sit on a block in the beginning, right between my ankles. It gives less bend on the knees. So it's a little gentler. You could also sit on 2 blocks if you like. But as with any of our physical practice, of course, notice what your body is telling you, and please listen if it's saying not today, no Hero's Pose today, choose something else. I wanted to share an excerpt from the book, Seeking the Heart of Wisdom, The Path of Insight Meditation by Joseph Goldstein and Jack Kornfield, as it relates to one of the practices of the second limb of yoga, Santosha. You might remember in the second limb, which is the niyamas, spiritual practices that help us to align with who we are internally, with who we are, how we show up in the world. Santosha means contentment. So it's practicing contentment even in times where it might be a little challenging to remember to be grateful. So also talks about things that come up when we're meditating, especially if you're new to meditating. And I love what the message is here. Inner calmness is a way of being that can transform our lives. Taking one thing at a time as our focus, letting the imperfections of life be, fosters a sense of the present, a contentment with the moment. At first, our meditation may develop in some ways, but still be mixed with a quality of striving or judgment. As our skill in meditation grows, we can learn the art of letting go and finding a calm center in the midst of our changing sense. As we sit, extraordinary levels of silence and peace can open for us. We can feel as if the whole world had suddenly stopped moving. Our body can become light and transparent like a clear spring sky. The senses and the heart can open in a sweet and delicate way, and a powerful contentment can arise. We can learn how happiness comes from a heart at rest and not from changing outer circumstances. All of this can be discovered as a power and fruit of our practice. I love that line. We can learn how happiness comes from a heart at rest and not from changing what's happening outside of us, not from changing outer circumstances. It's easy to get pulled into what's happening, what this person said to me, or what situation or what circumstance is happening, and forget that we have control of our own happiness by how we're perceiving what is happening externally, by how we are relating or making meaning of what he or she or they said to me. And so meditation is such a powerful, fruitful practice of going inside of ourselves. And remember, that's where the peace is. It's not because I went to this beautiful place and the beautiful place is creating peace for me. You can create peace wherever you are, even in the midst of chaos. And so this is such a powerful thing to remember, because it's easy to forget that when we get caught up in the momentum of what's happening outside of us. So let's get into our bodies, notice what's there, listen inward, and then practice that listening even more in stillness, ending with 5 minutes of meditation. So let's begin by checking in with ourselves. As you find some sort of stillness physically, you might close your eyes and practice that non-striving, non-judging attitude as you're scanning your body mentally. Just being open to become aware of what you're sensing physically. Any aches and pains, any tensions or areas of stability and strength and openness. As we let go of judging any of these things as good or bad, we open ourselves to be in a sense of contentment by just accepting what is right now. Sense the quality of your breathing without even controlling your breath. observing how you're feeling energetically. Notice how you're feeling now, mentally and emotionally. Let the breath in a little deeper. You might sigh it out as you exhale through your mouth. Even slower as you breathe in, feel the breath moving through your physical body. Same thing as you breathe out a little slower. And as you continue to deepen your breath, what is something right now that you can feel a sense of gratitude or contentment about? Already setting the tone of our perception, the lens through which we perceive with. And what would you like to focus on during your practice and then outside of your practice today? What is your intention right now? What are you cultivating? As remember that we are all in this together, though our life journeys may be very different from each other. To whom would you like to dedicate this practice as a way of sending them kindness, support? And let's join our voices together, creating a resonant space to share practice in and setting our intentions and dedications. So chanting Om 3 times. Breathe in a little deeper. So as we continue to deepen the breath, I invite you to start to balance the length of your in-breath with the length of your out-breath. As you close the lips, helping to create internal warmth, practicing Ujjayi pranayama or victorious breathing, which helps to balance your energy as well as cultivate focus and calm. So that Ujjayi breath is centered on a whispering sound that you create at the back of your throat by softly constricting it with the mouth closed, inhaling to the very top and exhaling to the very bottom. So can you hear the whispering in your breath? Let your attention land there, even as you're moving the body, so that your movements and postures can become a meditation in themselves. So as you listen to that whisper, let's make our way onto sitting down with the legs in front. So you might be sitting cross-legged, you might do something that's more comfortable. You could also elevate your pelvis. And then plant your left fingertips on the ground just beside your left hip. Root your 2 sitting bones down evenly, and then lift through the center of your spine. Draw the shoulders down. Breathe in here as you raise the right arm. And then exhale, begin to laterally extend to your left side, so side bending. Breathe in, stay where you are. Press down through the pelvis, lift the lower spine from it. And if you can, continue to side bend as you breathe out. Keep lengthening all the sides of your neck here. Two more deep breaths. So while one side of your torso is stretching, the opposite side is contracting. Inhale, come up to center. Lower your right fingertips on the ground, raise the left arm. Sit up a little taller on the next inhalation. Keep relaxing the shoulders. And then as you exhale, little by little, side bend to your right. And especially press down the left side of your pelvis. So physically, our focus is going to be working with the sides of the torso through extension and contraction. And that's part of your core muscles that help to stabilize the spine. So come on up to center. And this time, raise the arms up, root the sitting bones down, lengthen the spine, seal in the bottom of your front ribs. And then to your right side, exhale, twist, and then lower your hands. So the right hand lands behind you. Left hand can be on your lap, or you can press the back of the left hand against your outer right thigh. Now, as you breathe in, press down to your pelvis and try to stack the crown of your head directly above your tailbone. Notice if you might be slouching, rounding the back, or protruding the chin. Glide your chin towards the back of your throat so that it's parallel to the floor as well, and then lift up through the back of your skull. One more full breath. Inhale, raise your arms. Let's come back to center. And now twisting at your waistline as you keep your legs and pelvis still, turn to your left. Lower your fingertips down. Elongate the spine as you press the pelvis down, breathing in. And then continue to use these muscles along the sides of your torso called your latissimus dorsi. Or excuse me, your wrong muscles. I'll think about it later. And then you might press the back of the right hand outside your left thigh, adding some leverage, a couple more breaths. Obliques, that's what I meant to say. External and internal obliques. Inhale, raise the arms, come back to center. And then exhale, trace the thumbs down your midline. Let's make our way to stand at the top of your mat, separating your feet hips width apart or wider, parallel to each other. You might like to have blocks in front of you if you know you want to press down onto blocks instead of the ground for half forward fold. Let's start sun salutation A, a couple of rounds continuously, moving to the sound of mindful breathing. So join your hands at your heart, reconnect with your focus for your practice, your intention. And remember that the sun salutations are actually like a moving prayer of gratitude. We're offering gratitude to the sun, literally a source of energy for all of us. So bringing that as you inhale, sweep your arms overhead, draw your shoulders back and look up. As you exhale, fold over your legs. Feel free to bend the knees if that's more supportive. Lower your fingertips on blocks or the ground. Inhale, lengthen your spine forward. Step into your version of plank pose. Let's pause there a few breaths. Stacking your shoulders over your wrists. Knees can be on the ground to offer support right under the hips, or legs straight, actively pressing your inner heels back. Lift the sides of your abdomen, draw your shoulder blades down your back, and gaze on the ground just ahead of your thumbs. One more inhalation. Now as you exhale, lower your knees, then lower your chest, then lower your chin. This is called Ashtangasana. Inhale, slither forward, entering cobra pose. Gently coil your chest open. Exhale, tuck your toes and lift your hips back into downward facing dog. Let's pause here, cultivating stillness in the body as you steady your gaze, your drishti, tuning into a total of about 3 slow breaths. Now, once you've heard the end of the next exhalation, then walk or lightly step to the front of your mat into Uttanasana, standing forward fold. Press your hands on your blocks or the floor. Inhale to half forward fold, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold. Press to your feet. Inhale, sweep the arms, rising up. Let's take hold of the left wrist here. We'll add a side bend. Exhale to your right. Inhale, rise to center, hold the right wrist. Exhale to your left. Inhale to center, coil the chest, gaze up. Exhale, join your hands at your heart. One more round. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, coil your chest up. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Press with your fingertips. Inhale, lengthen to Ardha Uttanasana. Step back into your version of plank. And again, let's lower knees, chest, chin as you exhale. Inhale, glide forward, entering Cobra. Draw your shoulder heads back, root the tops of your feet down. Exhale, contract your abdomen to lift your pelvis back. Adho Mukha Svanasana for 3 deep breaths. When you've emptied the third, walk or float to the front of your mat. Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, half forward fold. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, rise up, take hold of your left wrist again. Exhale to your right, side bend. Inhale, center, take hold of your right wrist. Exhale to your left, side bend. Inhale, center, coil your chest up. Exhale, join your hands together at your heart. Let's move into Sun Salutation B as we continue to warm up. Inhale, bend your knees together, feet together, sit back towards your heels. Utkatasana, chair pose. Exhale, shift your weight forward, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen forward, Ardha Uttanasana. Step back to your version of plank. Choose to lower knees, chest, chin, or this time chaturanga. By gliding forward, lowering halfway as you graze your elbows by your ribs. Then choose either cobra or upward facing dog. The latter goes deeper into a back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. From here, inhale, raise your right leg behind you. We're gonna add a twist here. As you exhale, cross your right knee to tap your left outer upper arm or elbow. Make sure you're twisting at your waist, not your shoulders. Inhale back to 3-legged dog. Exhale, step the foot lightly beside right thumb. Spin your left heel down. Inhale, rise up into warrior one. Exhale, lower. Keep going to your vinyasa. Follow your breath pace. Downward facing dog. Inhale, raise your left leg back at your waistline. Exhale, twist, crossing the left knee to your right outer upper arm in plank. Inhale, raise your left leg back. Exhale, step the foot beside your left thumb, spin your right heel down. Inhale, rise, Virabhadrasana 1. Exhale, lower to your vinyasa. Downward facing dog. Once again, cultivating stillness. Let's pause for 3 slow breaths. After the third, walk or float to the front of your mat. With feet touching in Uttanasana. Inhale, bend your knees to touch in Utkatasana. Exhale to rise. Let's take the same sequence one last time. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Bend your knees in chair pose. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, half fold. Step or float to Chaturanga. Take it through your vinyasa here. From downward dog, inhale, raise your right leg back. Exhale, cross the knee, tapping your left outer upper arm in plank. Inhale, raise your right leg back. Exhale, the foot beside right thumb. Spin your left heel down. Inhale, rise, Virabhadrasana 1. Exhale, lower, take it to your vinyasa. Downward facing dog. Inhale, raise your left leg back. Exhale, cross the knee to your right outer upper arm in plank. Inhale, raise your left leg back. Exhale, the foot beside your left thumb. Spin the right heel down. Inhale, rise up to Virabhadrasana 1. Exhale, lower. into your last vinyasa. Downward facing dog. Pause for 3 deep breaths. Bending your knees. On emptied breath, walk or float to the top. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees together. Inhale, chair pose. And exhale, rise up. Let's step the feet apart, hips distance or wider. Bring your hands behind you to clasp or hold a strap between the hands. Draw your shoulder heads back. Inhale, look up. And then exhale, fold over your legs. Feel free to bend your knees if needed so that you can truly unwind your spine, especially if you're feeling stiffness in the lower back or hamstrings or glutes. You might gently shake and nod your head or flutter your lips to relax the jaw and neck. And then lower your fingertips outside your heels and step your left knee behind you to a kneeling lunge. Inhale, raise the arms up. So make sure first that your setup is left hip directly on top of left knee and right knee directly on top of right ankle as your legs are as wide apart as your hips. Doesn't feel like you're on a tightrope. Then imagine the feeling of dragging your legs towards each other without visibly moving the legs. Lift your pelvic floor. As you raise your arms, lengthen through the sides of your waist, but draw your shoulders down. Take hold of your left hand with your right wrist and breathe in with the spine a little taller. Breathe out, side bend to your right. Few breaths. By rooting your right foot down firmly and keeping your right leg still, help to support your balance. On your next inhale, rise up. Use your right hand to cup the top of your right thigh and lengthen your spine forward. Choose to either lower your left hand on the ground or a block directly under your left shoulder as you raise your right arm, or to hook your left elbow outside of your right thigh. Going a step further, you might bring your hands in prayer, or open the arms apart, or bind if you practice that. If your hands are in prayer, breath by breath, continue to turn your rib cage so that maybe your sternum, the center of your chest, will eventually meet your thumbs. Either way, draw your shoulder blades down your back. And let's continue another 3 breaths exploring this twist. Look down at your right foot and lower your hands to frame it. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, step the left foot hips distance from the right, forward fold. Step your right knee back, kneeling lunge. Inhale, raise your arms. So again, ensure that setup for stability. Right hip above right knee above left ankle. Energetically draw the legs towards each other and lift your pelvic floor. Create stability. Raising the arms, catch hold of your right wrist and breathe in to lengthen your spine, but relax the shoulders down. Breathe out as you side bend to the left, little by little. Keeping your left leg still. Inhale to rise. Cup the top of your left thigh as you lengthen forward, and at your waistline using your obliques, exhale to twist to the left. See if you can enter the same version of the twist you did on the first side. Right hand on a block or the floor, or hook the elbow outside the thigh. Shoulder blades down the back. Continue to twist just beneath your lowest ribs. Look down at your left foot and then lower your hands. Step back, lower your knees to the floor, and let's bring the inner edges. Actually, let's start with a gentle movement here. So let's separate the knees, hips width, separate the feet, hips width. And with your knees a couple inches behind your hips, stack your shoulders on top of your wrists. And let's take a few slow rounds of cat-cow to transition into the yin energy part of our practice. So inhale, glide your torso forward and coil your chest slowly up. Cow pose. Exhale, lift your navel towards your spine, dropping your head to round cat pose. Inhale, draw your heart forward, sending your shoulders back. Exhale, lift your belly in, rounding the back. A few more cycles of breath. Now for another 5 breaths, move in any direction here that your body may need to move or not move. You might circle the pelvis laterally, getting a little more of the movement in the sides of your torso as we've been focusing on. You might gently turn the head. What last bit of movement might you need before we hold still in postures? All right, let's take a supported child's pose. So take your pillow and maybe the folded blanket on top as well, which adds more support. And straddle the back end of that between your thighs. Depending on how long your pillow is, you might be more sitting on your heels directly, or you might be sitting on the pillow itself. And just see what's more comfortable for you. And then place a block or 2 blocks stacked. You could adjust the height of the block as well, right underneath your forehead, so your nose is in the space between the block and the pillow, like this. And then experiment where to place your arms so that your shoulders are fully relaxed, your neck feels spacious. You can breathe well and possibly continue ujjayi breathing, so that slow ocean sound in the breath through the nose. We're going to be here for 3 minutes in this restorative posture, taking a moment to literally ground. So focus on the feeling, the physical feeling of the parts of your body making contact with anything that's under the body, the pillow, the ground, and take your time just really feeling how you're letting your body rest completely downward into that surface. Very slowly begin to gently lift your head. Use the support of your hands on the floor to gradually lift your torso upright. Take your time. Notice your breathing as you transition from this pose. Let's take that pillow and that block and blanket and slide the pillow further forward so it's at the very top of your mat, tracing the lengthwise midline of the mat. And just place the block aside. You may or may not use it. You might start with that blanket on top of the pillow as well, which offers more support. Let's have a seat so that your right outer hip is flush against the back edge of your pillow. We're going to set it for a restorative spinal twist, which, as one of you from our live community asked for some lower back releasing tension there. So start with your legs extended towards your left wall as you sit here, right hip touching the pillow. And then slide your left leg down the midline of your mat towards the rear until you have a letter L shape out of your legs. Keep your legs where they are and turn your chest to face the front of your mat, placing your hands to frame the sides of the pillow like this. Now, with the help of your hands, turn your chest completely to face the front of your mat and adjust your pelvis and legs so that you can do this comfortably. You might swivel the right hip slightly back, though it's still touching the pillow. You might bend the knees. Make sure you're relaxing your feet. And then start to lower your torso onto your props. Now, if you need more props so that your torso can completely rest down, like if your torso is way up here, won't go any lower, you can grab more pillows and blankets. You can make an incline like this, placing a block, say medium height, underneath the furthest edge of the pillow so the pillow rises up to meet you. Some of you may want less props. So notice what your body is asking for right now. What you did last time in this pose might be different with what you're working with now. Some of you, if you're completely on the ground, you might add thread the needle, which is a twist that continues into the upper body, where you flare the right elbow towards the ceiling, lower the right fingertips on the ground towards the upper right corner of your mat, and thread your left arm underneath the right elbow, lowering the left side of your head on the floor or on some kind of prop. So get set up, make any adjustments that you need so that you can be on this side of this pose for 3 minutes in stillness. Continue to observe, listen to your breathing, and regulate your breathing as slowly and evenly as you can. Now, just be aware of your breath and take your time. Start to lift your head and torso slowly. Leave your props just as they are. And let's meet sitting upright in stick pose with both legs extended towards the back of your mat. Pausing there for a few breaths and just letting the spine unwind from that twist as you observe any sensations you're feeling, especially sensations that are changing in some way. Coming back to regulating the breath. Inhale slowly for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep lengthening and balancing the breath. Leave your right leg where it is and slide your left leg to your left, 90 degrees, so that your left foot is actually pointing at your right wall. Have your left outer hip flush against the pillow if it's still there, or just facing the front of your mat. And as your legs remain in an L shape, turn your chest to face the front of your mat, placing the hands towards the front of the mat. And then start to lower your torso down, either on your prop stacked, or some of you maybe on the ground. Maybe you're going to enter thread the needle if you're going further into the twist, if you did this on the first side. So try to practice symmetry with what version of the pose you practiced on the first side. Make any adjustments that you need to comfortably support your body to be still in this variation for the next 3 minutes. Notice where your attention is in this moment. Start to very slowly lift your torso upright. Once again, arriving in stick pose where you're sitting tall and your legs are in front of you. Maybe close the eyes and just observe your body here. You might imagine the in-breath beginning at the bottom or base of your spine and slowly rising through your 7 main energy centers to the crown of your head. And then invite the exhalation to slowly descend from the crown all the way down to the base of your spine. Maybe counting to 6 as you breathe in, to 6 as you breathe out. This is called resonant breathing. It's a mindfulness breath technique, the 6 in and the 6 out. To add a little more for focusing on releasing tension in the lower back, let's come into bound angle pose, bringing the soles of your feet together to touch as you bend the knees wide. Now, there are many ways to practice this posture. You can decide first how close you want your heels to be to your groins and notice how that feels. If you want to focus on opening up other areas of your hips, inner thighs, you might slide the heels forward. Notice how that feels. So play with it. And you might even find it helpful if your back is rounding to sit on a folded blanket so that you can elevate the pelvis, which allows the knees to drop open more easily. And then take any of your props that you may need, place it on top of your inner feet, inner ankles, as high as you may need. Remember, you can make, similarly like we did in the twist, you can make an incline, you can stack another pillow, another blanket, or less props, depending on how open you feel here in the lower back. So root your sitting bones down, slightly draw the belly in, lift your chest, relax your shoulders, keep your throat open, and slowly begin to hinge at your hips, bowing forward with a generally long spine, so you're not tensing the shoulders or tensing the breath. You can adjust the props as you need as you come down. And we're going to be in this position for another 3 minutes. So make sure that you can comfortably feel like you're surrendering your body, not holding your body up. And once again, breathing in and out through the nose, gentle whispering sound. Focus on the sound. Gently begin to rise slowly, aware of the breath as you do. We're going to practice one more pranayama together before we arrive in complete stillness in corpse pose before a sitting meditation. So find a way to sit comfortably tall where you can breathe well, easily. I invite you into alternate nostril breathing, which is a balancing breath work as well. Balancing for your energy, balancing for your left and right hemispheres of the brain. And it's practice again by breathing just through the nose, placing your hands in Vishnu Mudra, the right hand in Vishnu Mudra, stick out the right thumb, pinky and ring fingers. We're going to close the right nostril with the right thumb like this. And we'll close the left nostril with the right ring and pinky fingers like this. Alternate nostril breathing. So we're going to be breathing in for 4 counts, holding the breath for 6 counts, breathing out for 4 counts, holding the breath for 6 counts. And then it will go through a full cycle. Let's practice 3 cycles together, and I'll invite you to continue 2 cycles on your own. When you're holding the breath, try to relax into the hold. If it's causing some sort of stress, if you're unfamiliar with holding the breath, and it disrupts the peacefulness of the practice, then hold the breath for a shorter period of time and start to take your own pace once you get the hang of the sequence of the breathing. Now, let's rest the left hand, if you like, in Gyan Mudra, which is thumb and index finger touching, palm face down in the lap. This just helps to bring the attention deeper inward, and you might also close your eyes. Let's prepare to start by exhaling through the nose. With right thumb, cover right nostril. Inhale left for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Close left. Exhale right. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale right. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Close right. Exhale left. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Cycle 2. Inhale left. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Close left. Exhale right. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale right. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Close right. Exhale left. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Third cycle. Inhale left for 4. Hold for 6. Close left. Exhale right for 4. Hold for 6. Inhale right for 4. Hold for 6. Close right. Exhale left for 4. Hold for 6. Continue for 2 more cycles on your own. And when you finish breathing naturally, observe how you feel. And take your time to lower your body to the floor entirely. Feel free to use any of your props for support in corpse pose, Shavasana. Lying down, you might splay your feet apart wider than hips distance. Turn the palms up by your sides, rolling the shoulders back and down. And close your eyes. Let the breath flow naturally as you give yourself presence. Notice what you're feeling in your physical body right now. Little by little, begin to gently move your body. And very slowly and gradually ease into a simple stretch. You might keep your eyes closed as you begin turning over onto your right side and pause there, resting your head. Spend a few moments attuning to your energy right now by sensing your breath. As you feel ready, begin to lift your body upright, coming back to a grounded, tall, relaxed, seated position for 5 minutes in meditation. Before we begin, I'm going to reread that excerpt, part of it. Inner calmness is a way of being that can transform our lives, taking one thing at a time as our focus. Letting the imperfections of life be fosters a sense of the present, a contentment with the moment. At first, our meditation may develop in some ways, but still be mixed with a quality of striving or judgment. As our skill in meditation grows, we can learn the art of letting go and finding a calm center in the midst of our changing sense. As we sit, extraordinary levels of silence and peace can open for us. We can feel as if the whole world had suddenly stopped moving. Our body can become light and transparent like a clear spring sky. The senses and the heart can open in a sweet and delicate way, and a powerful contentment can rise. We can learn how happiness comes from a heart at rest and not from changing outer circumstances. So sitting to steady your attention on one focal point. You might visually meditate on your heart center, the middle of your chest, or you might place your inner gaze at your navel center just below the belly button. See what feels more resonant for you to rest your attention on. Maybe it's where you can feel the breath coming and go naturally. And as your attention may go away from that place of center, just notice it. Notice when it happens. And as soon as you become aware that it has happened, practice friendliness to yourself, non-judgment, non-striving, and in as easy way as possible, come back to your center, that point of focus. Now notice how your mind and heart feel. You might gently place a hand at your heart center and acknowledge something with gratitude right now. And then return to your intention, reminding yourself what you chose to focus on today, during and after your practice. Remember to whom you dedicated this practice. And together, let's close chanting Om again 3 times. Deep breath in. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste.